All right, greetings and divine blessings, family. This is your sister Ya. I am from Division 407 with the Black Cross Nurses, and I am also a member of Melanated. I am a priestess initiate, Melanated Immortals Making Evolutionary Changes. And I am here with our Unity Circle, and we're going to get going with our prayer of the seven galactic directions. From the East, House of Light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the North, House of Night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the West, House of Transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the South, House of the Eternal Sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, House of Heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may the blessings come to us now. From below, House of Earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayun Hunabku, Evan Maya, E Maho. Ayun Hunabku, Evan Maya, E Maho. Ayun Hunabku, Evan Maya, E Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe. And Ashayo. All right. And so we're going to get right into this Tzolkin calendar. Or, no, I'm sorry, the Synchronometer. And so what the Synchronometer is, it is a calendar, as the Olmec, the Maya were calendar collectors, right? And so this is a calendar of the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar that most of the world follows, mixed with the Tzolkin calendar and the 13 moon calendar. Okay. And so, because there are 13 moons, there are 13 months, months. So, we are currently in the planetary dog moon of manifestation, and each moon asks a question. This moon asks, how do I perfect what I do? And the totem animal, again, is the dog. And the 10th moon runs from April the 4th to May the 1st, 2026. Okay. And so you'll notice that the days of the week, based on the Gregorian calendar, are replaced with the chakras, right? And so as we align our chakras, each plasma, because the plasma in our blood communicates with the plasma in the sun, we align ourselves with the cosmos so that the information that we're sending to manifest our desires, our needs, our wants, whether it be subliminal or conscious, gets communicated with the cosmos, and then we manifest it here on this physical plane. And everything that we manifest here occurs in the cosmos, occurs inside of our bodies, as we are the cosmos, as we are the creators, right? And so, to align ourselves with creation, we use the chakras and not the days of the week because of the not negative condensation that goes along with a lot of the words in the English language. And so today, or the plasma. All right, yeah, I got a sick son, so it's a lot going on. I apologize, y'all. Okay, and so Dolly is Saturday, Sally is Sunday, Gamma is Monday, Kali is Tuesday, Alpha is Wednesday, Limi is Thursday, and Celio is Friday. And so the chakras, Dolly is the crown chakra, Sally is the root chakra, Gamma is the third eye chakra, Kali is the sacral chakra, Alpha is the throat chakra, Limi is the solar plexus, and then Alpha is is the heart chakra. Okay. And so you'll notice that we have four different colors that goes along with each moon, and there's always 28 even plasmas that also have the kinergy or the Akasha that are guiding us on each plasma. You'll notice that you'll see on there's red, which initiates. And so on the red heptad or the first week of each moon or each month, we are initiating something. Okay, so you can set your intentions to what it is that you're trying to create or you desire to create. On the second heptad or the second week, you have white, which refines. And then on the third heptad, which is blue, which is really black, you are transforming your creation. And then on the fourth heptad is yellow, which is right, which means that this is where your creation should be coming in, to put out into the universe to manifest. Okay. And so you'll notice that this is the 22nd plasma of this moon, which is congruent with April the 25th. And we are currently on the 40th week or 40th heptad of this calendar. And we are currently on Kin 137. Now, each kinergy has a affirmation that goes along with it to what we are being taught or shown, and anybody born on this plasma today is Kim 137, which means we understand what purpose it is for our incarnation. And that's what the Kenergies mean. Ken and Maya means sun. So we are on the sun energy 137. Okay. And so if anybody is celebrating a birthday, this plasma, um, or a solar return, this is the energy that is guiding them for the next year. For people who are just experiencing this is the energy that's guiding us through this plasma. And then tomorrow it would change. Okay. We are currently doing a chant calls also in the core of the Tzolkin. We have 20 chant calls, and then we go into the future portals with Neptaharka. All right, and so the kinergy of this plasma is the red resonant earth. And the affirmation for the red resonant earth reads, I channel in order to evolve. Inspiring synchronicity, I seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of universal water. You channel in order to evolve, inspiring synchronicity. You seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. You are guided by the power of universal water. We channel in order to evolve, inspiring synchronicity. We seal the matrix of navigation with the resonant tone of attunement. We are guided by the power of universal water. And then on the right here and sign, oh, okay. So we are on the resonant tone, right? And so the resonant tone is the only tone out of the 13 tones of creation or the galactic tones of purpose that is even all the way around. The resonant tone is really about attuning yourself. And so that the dot and the bars that you see, that the bar means 5 and the 2 dots are 1 2, so it's 5 plus 2, which is 7. And this is the vibrational numbering system, which is backed by the Maya Olmec cosmology, which makes it stands it apart from a lot of other cosmologies. To my understanding, the Dogon may be the only other cosmology that follows something that or that follows a cosmology that is very, very, very powerful. Not saying that they all aren't. I'm just saying that the ability to manifest and create with being backed by the Vagesimo numbering system, which makes it stand very much apart from the a lot of the other cosmologies. And so each tone in each avatar or each solar seal has a power, action, and function. And so the resonant tone is about channeling, inspiring, and attunement. The earth is about navigation, evolution, and synchronicity. And so the basis of each earth archetype has the same power action function. The tone just changes. And so if you notice over here, the glyphs on the right hand side here are our guides for this plasma. And so now we are currently being guided by the resonant seed, right? And so the resonant seed is channeling, flowering, inspiring targetness, and attuning our awareness. Okay. And we are currently in the blue monkey wave spell of magic, which is my wave spell of incarnation, people. So I have some special stuff that I have going on. Not that we all don't. I'm just saying, it's my wave spell. So I'm flat. I love my wave spell. As we all should. This is why we came here. You came here for what So, but anyway, and so our first guide, oh, and this guides us from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then our first guide is the resonant winds from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. And then from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., we are guided by universal water purification, that red moon energy. And then from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., our challenge or gift energy kicks in, which is the blue resonant hand. Okay. And then in the middle here, you'll see the Akasha or the solar seal of the resident earth, which is the soul. And then these are the four around are the guides. Okay. And so the oracle reading for the red resonant earth is: may the energy of the red resident earth help me to enjoy my presence on earth and joyfully resonate with all its living beings. I am guided by the power of flowing. Ashe. All right. And so each solar seal, all of the red earth have the same affirmation. And the affirmation for all of the navigators or Kaban in Maya language um, is reads as: I am the navigator coded by the red earth. 17 is my number. My insignia are the harmonic seals of the planet Earth and star mind returning to source. I am the invisibility of all time and consciousness. I hold the maps of celestial origin and follow the signs of synchronicity on behalf of cosmic evolution. My crown is the interdimensional portal of the galactic life whole. The 13 and 7 is above and below. In the center is the 441, and on either side, the 11 and 27, keys to the synchronic power of 7. Synchronic lenses allow me to see things radially. I am evolution in motion. I am the skilled star traveler guided by telepathic frequencies that hold stars and planetary systems in order. The galactic compass is my steering wheel, keys to the knowledge of galactic navigation, whose signs are directions for every traveler of time to know. To know me is to know the language of the stars. Ashe, ashe, and ashe. Oh, all right. So now we're going to get into our focus exercises. The first exercise is the only one that comes with instructions. You are going to follow the Tzolkin or the double helix from the top left hand corner. You're going to come down through the center and around to the end in the left bottom left hand corner. Then you're going to start up in the upper right hand corner. You're going to come down through the center and around and down to the bottom right hand. And then you're going to go up and down the center. You're going to attempt to repeat this 13 times before just focusing on the center for the remainder 5 minutes. Each focus exercise is 5 minutes. The next one is about your emotional intelligence, and don't worry about how you look at it or what happens when you look at it. You may notice that it moves. This is the Vigesimal numbering system, and this is our consciousness. However, it moves is just the way your consciousness moves, and it's just raising your emotional intelligence as we prepare ourselves for whole mind consciousness. And then this third one here, of course, is my favorite. This is that instant consciousness shift, and that's why we here as melanated immortals making evolutionary changes, is to instantly shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population. And when you stare at it, you have the opportunity of increasing the melanin in your pineal gland. Ashe. All right, so we're going to go back to beginning. I am going to mute and cut off my camera and begin the focus exercises. I appreciate you all very deeply for being here. Peace and love. blessing us with children and gold. And when she sang, she heals your soul. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. The sun pierced the womb, and that's when I came to be. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. She reflects the smile of great spirit surrounding me. Changing woman, springing boundaries with every step that she takes, every move that she makes. Moon, the moon in the belly, ancient memory runs through her veins. Divine mama is her name. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. Sun pierced the womb, and that's when I came to be. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. She reflects the sun of great spirit surrounding me. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. The sun pierced the womb, and that's when I came to be. She is my sister, my mother, my friend. She is the water, the fire, the wind. She reflects the smile of great spirit surrounding me. From the little girl to the mother with the child, to the wise woman on the hill, we all are changing woman. Sisters, be patient with yourself and respect your own sacred pace. We all changing woman. From the little girl to the mother with the child, to the wise woman on the hill, we all are changing woman. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sisters, be patient with yourself and respect your own sacred pace. We are changing woman. Changing woman. I hear you. Changing woman. Wanna be near you.
We all come into the world through the mother. She is our first guru, her mantra, her heartbeat, her love and ever-renewing source. Let us remember Ma. This chant is for the mother in a soul. This chant is for the mother in us all. When I think of mother, I chant mother. When I think of mother, I chant mother. This chant is for the mother. We remember Ma, the mother in a soul. This chant is for the mother in us all. We take refuge as her sons and daughters. When I think of mother, I chant mother. When I think mother,
All right, welcome, 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 welcome. Race first. All right, I love that chant. It just does something to my spirit every time I hear it. All right, we are going to get going with acknowledging our ancestors and master teachers. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and in this moment, we summon and fortify and a revolutionary spirit of our most revered ancestors and teachers. Our acknowledgement is not a mere thanks, it is a declaration that their sacrifices were not in vain, and their wisdom will fuel the path forward. To the prophets and nation builders, we honor the most honorable Messiah, Marcus Garvey, who gifted us with the vision of Pan-African unity, self-reliance, and the majesty of Black nationhood, a king who taught us to look to Africa for the crowning of a Black king. Your vision lives. To the swords of liberation, we acknowledge Malcolm X, or El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, the brilliant and courageous truth teller whose evolution forged an unapologetic path to self defense and human rights. We honor Nat Turner, whose spirit refused to bend to bondage, making the ultimate demand for freedom with blood and fire. We salute Assata Shakur, whose principled resistance and revolutionary defiance inspire a continuous fight against oppression worldwide. Your resistance is our blueprints. To the queens of resilience and power, we bow to Henrietta Davis, whose strength in the Garvey movement fortified the foundation of the UNIA. We uplift Dr. Betty Shabazz, the embodiment of grace, intellect, and steadiness, who protected the legacy. To the master teachers of history and self, Dr. Ben, the master historian. We acknowledge Dr. Jewel Pookrum, the healer and physician who taught the deepest connection between mind, body, and spirit, the power of internal ancestral memory. Your wisdom is our foundation. We acknowledge and give deep gratitude to Mayat and Maakheru Amen for illuminating the concept of womb evolution, a crucial pathway for healing post traumatic slave syndrome and the associated physical change stored within the womb space. This work offers a powerful means of ancestral and cellular release. We honor Neb-Taharka, the seven mental spheres masters, for providing the essential framework and wisdom necessary to identify and remove lingering mental chains that restrict consciousness and self-determination. We express thanks and profound respect to Jose Arguelles for introducing the pivotal concept of law of time, a paradigm shift that reconnects humanity to natural time cycles and cosmic order. We commend Dr. Winters for the dedicated work and translating the glyphs left by our ancestors in Mesoamerica, thereby restoring vital, suppressed wisdom and historical memory. And we are grateful to Baba Wanik, the insightful law of time scholar, for the ongoing preservation, interpretation, and dissemination of this critical calendral science. We give a special thank you to all of you, the named, the unnamed, the million whose labor, genius, and blood paved the path from bondage to eventual victory. We acknowledge, we affirm, we commit. We will master the lessons you taught. We will build the nations you envisioned. We will defend the freedom you demanded. We will continue the revolution. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. All right, y'all. Race first, people. Let's get into it, guys. Who are we? We are Mimic. We are melanated immortals making evolutionary changes. Our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings, immortal health, immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. I am Sister Ya. I am in my second year of being initiated into the OMAC Priestess. I am also a doula and all of these other things you can read about that's listed here. But I just want to make sure that you all know that I am in my second year of initiation and I have become an ancestral doula, all right, based on indigenous concept, knowledge, and remembrance, all right? And I have the honor of being initiated by the mother of Mimic and the high priestess of the Melanated Immortals, Mayat and Maakheru Amen, who is an initiated Kemetic and Omic priestess. All right. And so the point of these sessions is to get us into these classes, okay? I don't know many spaces or places or people who have a cosmology that we follow, have these techniques that we follow that allow us to be able to free our minds, our bodies, and our spirits so that we live in our purposes, okay? And so we have techniques that we teach, and the whole point of me being here is to get us in those courses and learning those techniques so we can raise our frequency and our vibration so that we can walk in our divine purpose and our divine authority, Ashe. And so these courses are offered online. And once you take the courses, they never go anywhere. And they're for the divine masculine and feminine. And so you will learn trauma healing about, healing trauma, even ancestral and generational trauma. You will learn about your cosmic analogy. You will understand how we are the stars, the cosmos, and all that good stuff, the trees, the water, the wind, the fire. You will learn how to have better relationships, and high priestess love to laugh and spread love. So there's always laughter and understanding that this is a safe place for melanated people to evolve. Ashe. And so level one is the melanin, the womb evolution technique one. And then you have womb evolution two, which I have done both. And they are both phenomenal. I wouldn't even be in this space telling you all to get in these classes or asking you all to get into these classes if it wasn't worth your time. And so you learn a lot of techniques. And if you do the techniques, you will get results. Definitely. Okay. And so there are payment plans that are available. And we do have our up and coming womb evolution retreat, as I am a womb evolution affiliate. And so that's in June. And we will get into that a little bit later, but I just want to encourage you all, us all, to get in these courses. Okay. And they are done live, but they are online. So once you pay for them and you start taking them, they're there. And when she does have live courses that she offers, you get the link to be able to come in and join in, to be able to ask questions and have live information and feedback. Ashe. All right. And these are books that are mostly associated with the womb evolution technique. We have Unwounded, which I all of these books I have for sale. You can cash app the UNAA BCN 407 and text or call me and give me your information. I will put your book in the mail to you. The price does include shipping and handling. All purchases for courses and books, 25% goes back into the division. And I'm sorry, comes back to me. And then I'm sorry, 25% of what you pay for the courses, I get a kickback. And then 25% of that I give to the division 407 here in Detroit. Now, book purchases, when you purchase a book, 25% of the purchase that you make goes back into the division. Okay. And so, but any donations go directly into the division as we are building ourselves to be able to service our communities. Okay. And build a self sustaining village here in the city of Detroit. And so any help that is offered is appreciated. And so we are working hard to get ourselves established so that we are self-sustaining and efficient. All right. And so if you have any questions, you can email High Priestess at highpriestess@melanatedimmortals.com. You can email myself at yaglen3@gmail.com. You can follow us on www.melanatedimmortals.com. You can get in there and get registered for replays. You can get links for, up and coming sessions that we have, events and whatnot. Just go in there and peek around. We have a meta shop, all of that. And so now on Friday dawnings and on Sunday evenings, there are two events that we host. Friday at 7:30 a.m. is Aligning the Cycles, where High Priestess, Moon Goddess Ambrosia, and Brother Akil go deeper into the Maya cosmology and go through the wave spell that we are currently going through to help us understand what it is that we are creating and how to use and utilize the energies and what they are teaching us. Now, on Sundays at 6 p.m., we have the Melanin Frequency Visual. And these are both found on YouTube, where we are currently in the 52 acts of unity based on the melanin frequency that by our own High Priestess Mayats and Maakheru Amen. And so it's phenomenal. I hope you all get an opportunity to get onto YouTube or even attend some of the live sessions. And then we have Netzaharka, who is found on StreamYard. You can visit his website at synchronistichuman.com. He does the 7 mental spheres. He also has a lot of other things that he has offered. High Priestess does too. Just these master teachers are phenomenal, 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 life-changing information. You do not want to miss it. And he has the Amplify Your Purpose sessions on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. And most of his stuff is mainly by membership. You can pay $33 per moon or $333 for the year, and you get the replays. You get a couple of courses that are offered with the membership that kind of just introduce you to the law of time, H&P, and different concepts and things to help you understand. So when you further yourself and take courses, you're not kind of lost in it, because it is a lot of information to learn and to take in. We are currently offering the brain balancing that is offered quarterly. This is for members of the UNIA mainly. If you are affiliated with Mimic, but the because I am a member of Mimic, and because I am a member of the UNIA, and I am here on this platform to service both communities, as I am here for Race First. Okay, to connect us so that we are evolving in safe spaces together. And we are working for the betterment of the melanin dominant population. And so, what was I saying? I just started talking about the betterment of the I love Black people. But anyway, so we have the portals that are coming up. And so Neptaharka does meditations, each plasma of those. And so you want to get registered for those because this is a phenomenally high time. And so, oh, the brain balancing. I'm sorry, y'all. I started talking about Black. So I am currently brain balancing. I am currently balanced, which means my left and my right hemispheres of my brain are in sync with each other. They are aligned, people. And I am going through the locking process, which dendrites and neurons are activated down right here down the corpus callosum of my mind. And so with that, my mind is finally locking into higher consciousness, and then as I keep going, I'll go higher and higher. So you'll notice my intelligence, my memory, just certain things about me you all get to watch the evolution and the process of. And so as I share this and I get this wisdom, I extend my hand so that we all can rise into our higher selves, Ashe. And so please get brain balance. It's a phenomenal final experience. All the pings, tings, and mind stretches that I experience is definitely worth it, Ashe. And Unwounded and Umi the Creator are the two books that are most closely associated with the womb evolution technique. Now, I am currently going through this What's in Your Womb book, and I'm telling you, sometimes it's like we be in denial about stuff. Like I did Unwounded first. I did the womb evolutionary course, and really going back through to understand how it got in there. It's like, oh. So I am currently doing my fast, working on my womb space and my energy, which is the majority of the reason why I'm recording and not doing a live session. I have a sick son who didn't sleep well last night, and so my schedule got thrown off. And putting him to bed and doing my own meditations and things like that, I'm doing a lot about subconscious. And so spirit, I'm fasting, it's a high time. And so spirit comes in and does what spirit needs to do. And so I apologize for doing this recording late, as we were supposed to do a live session, but taking care of my sick 3-year old and my own meditations that I found myself in was very extremely powerful and very necessary. And so I am doing a lot of work on my subconscious and in my womb space. And that meditation was definitely, definitely needed. And so I encourage you all to get in these courses and start working on yourselves as we are here to service our communities and ourselves. We gotta be whole in that process, okay? And so here we are going to begin the discussion, creating a safe space to heal, open discussions about elemental. How are we nature? And so I really wanted to be able to have some feedback from some people in this space, because for me, the elemental is something that I experience a lot. Um, but I'm just gonna go through and then I'll share my experiences later. And so now if you could pick an element to control or be, which would you pick? So for me, by me being the first archetype, I'm mostly associated with water. So a lot of times when I sleep and whatnot, I'll see water, I'll see bodies of ocean. I get meditations about or visions about mermaids, things happening in the water. Which one thing that was really, really interesting, I had did a meditation. We did, and if you take the courses with Depth Harker, he has a telepathy course. So we did a precognition meditation that he had us go through and he guided us through. And so we fast forward to which would have been, I think is it May 28th, which is African Liberation Day. But this, I just remember because it was African Liberation Day where he had us fast forward to in 2025, because I was taking a course, I think 2024. But what happened was I saw a form of land come out of the ocean, which is interesting because fast forward, they just found a new discovered NASA land. And so I just love how things kind of just synchronize and, pop up. And when you experience this stuff and you kind of understand that we are the elements. We are. And so I have had experiences where I've done a meditation during the past and future portals where I made it rain and I made the power go out. um One meditation, as soon as I finished, I got the insight that when it starts to rain, to go out and let it purify you. So of course, as soon as I finished my meditation and my chanting, it and then I went out and I let it purify me. And what ended up happening was, I'm earth too. So, as you receive the healing, you give the healing to the earth and the surrounding around you. And so I put my hands on the earth, which I frequently do this even in meditations as I'm healing. The healing I receive, I extend it out And so I placed my hands on the earth, and then later on that plasma, my 3-year-old who was asleep because I did the meditation at 4:41 a.m. He came out and he stood right. He took his shoes off, mind you, and stood right in that space where I had put my hands. And so it's just phenomenal to understand what it is that we do and how it's so reciprocated, by our children, by the universe, by the animals, by the cosmos. As we heal on the line, man, I am having a phenomenal time. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying this is phenomenal. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be back in that mindset of having to punch a clock for 9 to 5 and just worrying about paying bills and trying to figure out what I'm here for. To understand I know what I'm here for and I'm aligning myself in that, oh baby, you better watch out. Now, if I could pick the element to control, all of them for real. But I understand even when I do alchemy, like when I use fire, if you notice, like if you use fire or incense or certain things, you know how the fire may flicker. That's the first steps of like fire bending, and controlling the elements and things like that. We go out and we do our meditations in person every every season. We do the opening of the way ceremony, and we always get responses from the ocean, from the lakes, from the animals that come surround us, or get a lake that is now blowing waves or something. It's phenomenal to really be in tune with ourselves and connect, and we all do it. It's not like just us, there's all of us. It's just really being in tune with it. Nature is us, and so it's our consciousness. But I would pick them all. I love them all. I like doing things with alchemy. Um, my breath work that I utilize, when you meditate and you breathe, it changes the energy, the air around you. Which we're gonna do a atmospheric breathing meditation, which is really about absorbing the energy and transforming the air around you. And breathing correctly. Most of us don't. We kind of breathe shallow, and that causes anxiety and things. And so, deep breathing, we want to make sure that we're getting into that. And so, I picked that meditation, which is very, very powerful. I was doing a part of that meditation is this plasma, to be honest with you, and it is very, very powerful. Um, let's see. We got Earth, where I talked about Earth. Um, talked about wind, the breath work, fire, and water. And so we're gonna move on. Do you know why we perform the opening of the way ceremonies? So, I did a clip of explaining what the opening of the way ceremony is. And so, we are the seasons, we are the cosmos. And so, when we do the opening of the way ceremony, it's just a way for us to invite that new energy in, whether it be the seasons. We do the opening of the way for the seasons, but you can do it like for opening of a business, when you having a function. It just clears out the energy, and it kind of set your intentions to what you want for that space. The energy that we set forth. And so, we also understand that the elements are in our body also, and so it's the organs of the body. And so, as we acknowledge and pay respect to our ancestors, the universe, the cosmos, and our surroundings, we invite the opening of the energy, so that we are in sync and in harmony. And we do these every season. This season coming, when we do the summer solstice, is the womb evolution retreat, which I hope everybody is signed up for. Do have limited space that is still available. Please sign up. You learn so many phenomenal things and come and heal, and love on yourself in a safe space. Um, and we do the opening of the way for the summer solstice. And then, another one of my factions, Ancestry on Conjuring, in the fall, we do the fall equinox, and we do the opening of the way ceremony there also. And then, the winter solstice, I think it's the nurturer faction. They do the opening of the way ceremony and the event that goes along with that. Convergence is in September. The winter conference, conference is in December, and that is done online. The other events are in person. And then in the spring, we have the seasoner faction that does the spring equinox, where we have the open house where people can come in and see what it is that we do, understand the different factions, our natural abilities, and which faction you may want to choose to be a part of, and really roll into how to master that for real. And that's what this is all about. I've never met a group of people that will let you understand that you are gifted and bring those gifts out in you, not control you, but allow you to bring those gifts out in you and allow you to learn how to control yourself and master yourself. Ashe, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful space, beautiful. Everything is just beautiful. It's phenomenal. It ain't easy, but it's phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Okay. When is the last time you truly felt consciousness of air moving through you? This plasma? That meditation I did that put me in comatose. Oh, but other than that, I would just want to like I do a lot of things with alchemy. I'm sorry, y'all. I do a lot of things with alchemy, and so I was watching this video, and I like to try stuff. I don't mind trying stuff to see what they do, and so it's this video about being able to manifest, and you take this jar, and in the jar you put I think it's hi Pooh. You okay? You feeling okay? Yeah, I'm not exploding yet. Okay, what? Hang on just. All right, I apologize. My son, he's sick, and so they always want mommy, and I apologize because I got to get through this and get back to my baby. But so there's this jar. You take a mason jar, and on a brown piece of paper, you write down what your intentions are, like things that you may want to remove, things you want to change, or to manifest. And so I did this for the first time. Um, and so immediately, and I'm not even holding you up, immediately after I did, wrote the stuff down on the brown piece of paper and put the, it's not vinegar, it's, ammonia. Put ammonia in a jar, and you, put the lid on it. And then you turn it upside down and you cover it with a black cloth. Immediately after, I felt this energy just flow through me. Like everything that I wrote down, I understand that it's manifesting because I felt all of that flow through my being. And, I would say it's air maybe, but literally, like, I felt that. It was strong. It was very powerful. And so I don't mind. Like I said, this is my wave spell of magic. So I play with magic. I play with energy, and um, to understand, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how to do it and how to be able to tell other people, I have to try it. And so I don't mind trying stuff. I ain't scared. And it was when I tell you, I slept like a baby. I've never felt anything so powerful just flow through me that quickly. Like to understand like that peace that came along with it also. But I'm gonna get us moving along because I do have a clip um that I have from spirit science that goes into the elements. But and then what is currently fueling your inner fire, and how do you tend to light your pilot when it burns low? Okay, so this one here, I my my balancing energy, my feminine energy that balances me out is universal fire. Okay, so the same energy that kind of led Brother Malcolm and Brother Garvey is my balancing energy. Just different tone. They have the galactic Ahau or Ra that guides them, and I have the service tone, service Ahau. the service Ra. I'm a person of service that balances me out. And so I'm always lit. So I'm always hyper. I'm always happy. I'm always doing what I need to get done, but I am a little bit aggressive. And so it's not really much that really puts me to the point where I don't really have much motivation to go on. I'm very, very, very self-motivated. Um, but really what gets me fuel in my fire is the liberation. So as I align myself in my purpose, I'm here literally for the liberation. That's my tone, my spectral tone of liberation. So that keeps me going. So as I find my place, my space in these places that's all about melanin, about liberating African people, child, I'm on fire. It's just what I do. And I love it. I love being around my people. Like even when I just went to HTC, like I love it. That energy, it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And if you have not done so, please purchase you some shares of Fakarak. I plan on doing it for myself. As we service ourselves, we got to take care of our people and take care of ourselves and build something. And so the HCC was a phenomenal, phenomenal experience. And so that really, like for a lot of people, they say that helps like their pilot when they're able to be around their people and experiencing and things like that, that help uplift them. And so for me, that it helps me too. Being around people, about especially African people who are really talking about doing something better for the community and for ourselves, Ashe. So that's always a motivation for me. And so I'm gonna get into this clip because I don't want to have us running over. This is a shorter kind of chapter. Um, and so I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna turn off my video and I'm gonna play the recording from Spirit Science that goes into the elements. It's about 12 minutes. All right, Ashe. And race first.
We know the four elements: earth, air, water, and fire. It's the geometry of a square. We have this prevalent system of four all over our world. We have four states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. We have four seasons: winter is earth, spring is air, summer is water, and autumn is fire. We have four directions. We have four ways of taking in energy: food, water, oxygen, and prana. We have four directions on the Native American medicine wheel. Also, we have the Mayan Hunab Ku, as well as the dream spell calendar. This system is all over the ancient past in symbolism hidden in different cultures. Our reality can be divided in a number of ways that will yield alternative perspectives of what is happening all around you. If you look at everything from a perspective of one, which is unity, you're looking at the full encompassment of everything. You're looking at the source field. There are no dualities. Everything is one. If you look through two, you see duality. You're looking at the male and the female of reality, the structured and the creative and inspiration. If you look through three, you see a trinity: mind, body, spirit, male, female, child, up, down, middle, black, white, gray, or even little things like 111 or 333 on your clock. If you look through four, you see the four elements. They are the physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, or perhaps 1111 on your clock. We can continue. 5 is the pentacle as well as the dodecahedron. 6 is the vector equilibrium, or cuboctahedron, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Do you see how each geometry is connected to a different energy? There's a lot of connections here that we can make to start seeing things bigger. Each point on the flower of life is one, and when you connect them, the geometries expand. 2 is a trion ray. 3 is a trinity, a triangle. 4 in the flower of life is a vesica Pisces, but it can also be a square. As these expand, they grow in dimension as well. 5 is a pentagon, and 6 is a hexagon. Each of these numbers relate to our dimensions as well. Dimensions and densities are very interconnected, although they are not the same. Dimensions go like this. 1 is 1 dot. That's unity, or dimension 0. Then 2 is a line. That's duality. 3 dots is a triangle, so you get a flat plane, a two-dimensional shape. 4 dots is a tetrahedron, giving you depth, bringing you to the third dimension. There's no real way of drawing a fourth-dimensional object in a two-dimensional video, but it's believed that they're as amazing as something like this in actual manifestation. You might notice that we're really only looking at up to 6 geometries. This is because as we're evolving, we're moving from a 3rd dimensional awareness to a 5th dimensional awareness. So these are the ones that we need to understand. These geometries also work in tandem with the chakras. Everything is connected. So we have the 4 elements down, which means there are 2 more geometries to look at. Well, actually 3, but the Merkaba is a whole video on its own. The 5th geometry is the dodecahedron, which I associate to being the life geometry. Not creating life itself, but the expression of consciousness through the other 4 elements. Think of it like your awareness of each of the other elements. The awareness of your physical manifestation, the awareness of your emotional self, your mental self, and the realization and awareness of your spiritual self as well. We have 5 platonic geometries that form everything in creation, but we don't have a hexagonal shape. If we look at the flower of life, we see that its ultimate basic form is in a 6-pointed shape, called a hexagon. Want to see where else hexagons form in life? We have all of these hexagons, and yet there is no platonic solid that is formed with a hexagon. So, what gives? Well, I want to introduce the vector equilibrium, which was coined by Buckminster Fuller. It is actually formed from 3 two-dimensional hexagons that swivel around each other, and its basic shapes that make it up are an equilateral triangle and the square. These are the 2 smallest shapes that you can make with straight lines, and together they balance at each other's corners to create the perfect shape. Why is it the perfect shape? Well, amazing physicist of the future, Nassim Haramein, has put together a movie called Black Hole that explains this. The reason is that every single line which is connected in this shape is the same distance away from every other point, including the very center of the shape itself. Not even the platonic solids have that definition, which also makes this the most stable shape and polyhedron, and the basis of the 3-dimensional flower of life. Finally, the only reason it's not a platonic solid is because it has both squares and triangles within it. Platonic solids are platonic because each face is the same, which makes me think that other shapes must exist that are balanced between 2 different shapes as well, and construct everything in the universe. To really learn more, check out Black Hole by Nassim Haramein. He actually has done a lot of videos out there which explains his theories and understandings of physics. And he's really amazing to listen to. His latest movie, Black Hole, is a good explanation of everything in just 1 hour, so we do recommend it the most. Before we end this video, I want to connect the final dots in the array to show you how all of these geometries are connected to life, and in turn, you. A seed in the ground sprouts up into a large tree. The tree blossoms a flower. The flower produces a fruit, and the fruit contains the seed. This is the natural progression of the cycle of life through consciousness on Earth. So let's translate that to geometry and see what happens. The seed of life sprouts the tree of life. The tree blossoms the flower of life. The flower produces the fruit of life. And the fruit of life contains the seed of life. In human evolution, I feel that the human race is still but a seed, an embryo, but about to expand into the tree of life. We're evolving consciously, and we're still stuck on the ground, stuck in the dirt, but not for long. Check out this painting I found on DeviantArt by the brilliant artist Adrian Kenyon. This is his depiction of the miraculous conception of creation and human history. It starts at unity, a sphere. The caduceus is seen coming from it, duality, then a trinity. Then, as the 4 elements come into manifestation, we get physical reality, crystals form, and water layers over top of it. All of these previous elements were conscious of their own, but now biological life begins to develop in the water and crawl onto land. We go through a few stages of evolution. Dinosaurs, basic mammals, and then humans show up. There's a lot of ideas as to where we came from, and we won't get into this now. Adam and Eve happens, the Buddha becomes enlightened underneath the Bodhi tree, and then something shifts. From this point to here is where we are now. Disconnected from our own natural spiral, paving over the ground, killing people for telling us that being materialistic can heed nothing good. Then come the world wars, and the world falls into chaos. And then something shifts again. From the destroyed world, another seed grows. We switch into a different reality. It starts out small. From out of the chaos, a tiny new Earth emerges and grows larger. This is the new Earth, a new realm of light and purity that we were meant to be connected with all along. The planet continues to evolve. Here exist angels, archangels, and multidimensional hypercubes. The planet becomes more crystalline over time. The last part of the spiral is the seventh dimension and the realm of God, an infinite number of multiverses dividing like cells in an embryo, an ultimate omnipresence, as everything that is contained in all of these multiverses is a part of God's consciousness. A snake biting its own tail, an Ouroboros, is the symbol of cyclic rebirth, like the phoenix. All of the information contained in the seventh dimension is held here like a nest for the next cosmic egg. There are a few other ideas that come to mind about this that I want to share as well. First, look at the shape of it as a whole. It's the triune ring, the geometry of DNA and light that we've been looking at before. If you line that up with the chakras, you can see how we go from a super dense space up to the highest frequency, until we once again connect with the same source that we were originally connected to. Doesn't that look familiar on the Flower of Life? If these theories about the Flower of Life are true, then that means this entire experience of human history and ascension and growth and evolution is just one wave of energy from one point to another on an infinite universe of possibilities. Each point is the supreme awareness of some aspect of the God Source consciousness field, and the energy that moves between it is the vibrations and waves of energy that we are experiencing, called the electromagnetic field. As much smaller fractals of the same source energy have experiences through these waves. This image also doesn't account for the number of parallel realities that we could experience at this point. If the Flower of Life expands in these directions, then this is just one direction. Maybe instead of total destruction, which is what this image depicts, instead we make our first ET contact on this spiral and join our galactic family. On this wave, maybe something else happens. Like, we start getting superpowers, like in Heroes or something. Maybe all of that can happen right here too. Anything is possible. Such discussion is the nature of this show. You don't have to believe any of this. The power of it lies not in the reality, but the discussion itself. I was told once that art would change the world. I didn't know what that meant for a really long time, but now I think I understand. Art is the expression of any energy, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. Whether it's male or female, it is the expression of consciousness. By taking our art to the next level and finding value in what we like to express and what we want to see expressed, we begin to share and express more of our own truth and our love and our freedom. That is the nature of the transformation on this earth, as well as the desire to do and create. The artist has put together a short explanation as well as a long 30-page detailed version of what this image truly means, at least to him.
All right, I love spirit science. They always got some nice little jewels that they drop, and they do it so simply, to really help you understand. And I apologize that I don't have the image. Uh-oh, what did I do? The images. Did I stop sharing my screen? No, it's still there. Let me see. Clicking on stuff. Okay. All right. So this is directly from the book Unwounded. And of course, we're on the seventh uterine mode, as we understand that our uteruses are programmed to what we program them to. Honestly, when we come here in the default setting is normally reproduction. But there are seven uterine modes that we know of right now, and we are on the seventh, which is elemental. Okay, the last session we did warrior, and then the next session we're just gonna go through and review. I think I'm gonna take a break for about a moon before we go into the next um the next space as I get ready for the retreat that's coming up, and just kind of revamp myself before I go into the new year. And so this is directly from the book Unwounded and the uterine mode of elemental. This uterine mode is quite magical. This is where you tap into the mystical part of the uterus, the part that connects to the etheric realm. The elemental uterine mode is where you hone in on the energy that you carry in the uterus that harnesses your ability to work with the elements, earth, wind, fire, and air, or spirit. Each of us has the ability to control the weather, start or stop fire, change the molecular structure of water, heal the earth, and communicate with spirit. We are elements or earth, fire, and water benders. This mode takes a high degree of concentration and focus. You may have to go into warrior mode first and then move to elemental, which may be why I can do both. Because remember, I was telling you guys the mode that I chose first was the warrior mode. Maybe that's why I kind of just went into elemental. What happened was my daughter did the course for the young ladies. And when she was going through her course, as I was, with her and going through, they were deciding on a mode. And that was the first time that I noticed that I shifted into elemental, where I was going to sleep later that night and I saw the water. I noticed the shift there. But anyway, however, a more practical mode with this is to use this function to become one with nature and more aware of how the earth functions in conjunctions with your feminine function. Now, remember, just because we're saying feminine, that does not exclude the masculine, because we are half our mother, half our father, half male, half female. And so it's about being in balance, that Maya. Got to get in harmony with ourselves. Okay. And so I like when they talk about the molecular structure of water, because we understand that even if you ever made holy water before, what you speak into the water is what you create. And so if you're speaking negatively to yourselves or cells, you program that as 70% of your body is water. So be mindful of the things you say to yourselves and make sure you speak in love, harmony, peace, prosperity, wealth, all of those things, freedom, mental freedom, you know, um, unity. Speak love until you're, even before you drink your water. That's why we pray over our food. You know, we always high spiritual. We just kind of forget, get lost in this matrix and forget. But we are all of those things, Ashe. And so, like I said, this is a short chapter, and so this is the second page. And so now you may be thinking, this sounds like some pie in the sky ish. How can we really do this? Well, remember that the uterus is a physical representation of the universe. And I have a picture that goes into that later. I'm going to go through that. As your body is the physical representation as you as a soul, I believe that everyone can agree that the universe is limitless, infinite, creative, and all knowing. If that is the case, then what does the physical universe do and why do you carry it? Again, we can go back to the diagram and look at where the ovaries sit on the grid. Since we have more information about specific types of energy, ovary is attuned to, and we're on a day of a plasma of attunement. So we're really getting in line, double time. Could we focus on that area and retrieve the needed information for this and any of the uterine modes? Absolutely. Absolutely. We came here with everything that we needed. And so as we use our bodies, because we needed these vessels to manifest, we have to learn how to use them in that fashion. Okay. And so this is the grid that she's speaking of. Again, I want us to get used to this grid here, because we understand that the right ovary sits on pre-consciousness, which is Dali, which is this plasma, or the crown chakra. The information comes in on this plasma. Okay. And so on the left ovary, we have the continuing consciousness. Um, and so these are also in the mind, the different mental spheres or the courts. They're the same thing. The seventh mental sphere is the seven courts of creation, consciousness, however you want to look at it. Okay. And so this grid, if I usually have Neptaharkas, but I wanted to show the womb space and how we are nature. But before we get into that, you'll see the different mental spheres and the anatomy of the female and the male principle here, which you have to understand that the left testicle would be the subconscious, and then the right testicle would be the waking consciousness. And so we have to remember that here in the center. or the cervix or the cord of the creator, where the uterus or where right before the uterus is met by the male principle, um there is a vein. So the uterus sits right on a bundle of veins, and one of the veins connects directly to the heart. So we have to understand that we have to be careful what we allow into us. So when we have the male energy in us, he has the ability to wake up our consciousness, like literally. And so even when you think about when a sperm meets the ovum, it's a spark that happens, kind of like how the mind works, the synapses that happens, that shift, that energy that happens. And so he has the ability to wake up the woman. And so he can program his sperm for what he wants to create, and and things like that. And so have to be mindful what we allow into us, and that's why I'm doing a lot of my womb healing, is because I didn't know consciously then that the womb space, what I'm experiencing, I created. And so clearing all of that out is important, and allowing what I choose into my womb space, and the healing that goes with what needs to be in my womb space. Very conscious of that, very serious work, you know. And so if you look over here at this diagram, you might have to zoom in a little bit. You might want to screenshot it, zoom in. You'll see that the on the left is the Earth's crust, and then on the right you have the uterine of the epidermis. And so you'll see how the Earth crust looks almost exactly like the ley lines of the uterus. And our ley lines of our uterus have coordinates around the planet. I haven't had a chance to do that meditation yet. I do plan on. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do it with High Priestess. Um, but we have to understand that we are the cosmos. We are the Earth, and so what we create, that's what we create. And while we experience and what we experience, and we control what happens here on this planet, is ours. And so here in the center, you'll see how the Earth is here in the center as the universe. And so that's why I'm in a faction of the universe, carrier faction, which is an innate ability that I have to understand that my body as the cosmos, and understanding my divine authority to my purpose. And so that's my faction, and that's why I'm here, helping us get this womb evolution technique, Ashe. And so you'll notice on the left and the right, you'll see the sun, as our ovums. If you look down here, if you look at the picture of the sun on the right and what an ovum looks like, they look almost identical. And so even when you have a solar flare, you have to understand that when an ovum is released, that blood that spits out, it looks almost identical to what happens on the sun when you have a solar flare. And it's iron, just like the sun. And so we have to understand that our anatomy, that we are the cosmos. Even if you ever looked at a nebula, it looks like the eye, and just a lot of different things. You have to understand that, it's us, it's all us. And so we are the first frequency. So we have a lot of responsibility, and we have to put ourselves back together, and get ourselves where we need to go. All right, so we're going to move along. We're going to take a break here. Before we take a break, this is our break before our meditation. So you want to find yourself in a comfortable position, quiet space. This meditation is powerful, y'all. So just be mindful. Don't be driving or nothing. Just make sure you somewhere, and you might fall asleep. Just gonna be real with you. Make sure you wake up and journal, whatever you need to do. I'm not gonna fall asleep. I always do the meditations. I love meditating. My physical body, or my support body, is the yogi yogini, so I am a meditation master. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But we have our summer solstice retreat that is coming up from June the 19th to June the 22nd in Williamsburg and Buckrow Beach, Virginia. So it's $325 per adult. Children over 7 are $125. RSVP today. We have limited space that it is available. We are going to have a sound bath in the ocean. We're going to do breakfast on the beach, not limited to womb and sun sutures. We have a sacred mother-daughter ceremony. We have a ceremony for the elders going through menopause into their new journey. We have a lot of things planned. This is not limited to it. I have more flyers that are going to come later. They're going to show you our itinerary for each plasma, what we're going to be doing. We do have transportation that is available with a $75 phase free, which covers picking you up and dropping you off to the airport and back and forth beach transportations, and the ability to be transported to our outdoor movie night if you choose to. Okay, I am going to pause and I am going to mute. I will not be back until I'm closing out and just saying good night to you all. I do truly, truly appreciate you being in this space and involving with me and being able to watch my evolution because it's unfolding right before your eyes. And so I'm going to play this clip, which goes into the opening of the way. And it just explains the what it is that we do and how we do it. And so that's our break. And then right after that is done, we're going to move into our meditation, which is about 15 minutes. And then we're going to close out. All right. Race first. Peace and love. Uncle Jacinib. Uncle Jacinib. Uncle Jacinib. Uncle Jacinib. Peace and love, community, and welcome back to another Sacred Melanin Community Channel video. If you are new here, my name is Satin Marche, and I am the founder of Sacred Melanin. Welcome to the Kipstitute. Today, I will be showing you all the opening of the way. The opening of the way is a comedic ritual that is performed between the hours of 3 and 7 a.m. The opening of the way is also used for opening the way, literally. It is a way for us to show reverence, pay homage to those who came before us, as well as salute all of the elements, all of the directions. And we always start facing towards the east, where the sun rises. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So we're going to start facing towards the east. And you always want to position yourself in the dua pose, which is the left hand extended, right hand closest to your heart, as well as your left foot extended. You always want to take deep breaths, warm up prior to getting into the opening of the way. So what I like to do is start by chanting Ankh. I want to face south, and that should I circuit, Anuk circuit, and that should I Kesanuk, Anuk Kesanuk, I want to face towards the west, and that should I offset, Anuk offset, and that should I onset, Anuk onset. Now towards the north, and that should act knee, Anuk knee, and that should act Tuamutep, Anuk Tuamutep, Tuamutep. Now you want to go back facing towards the east, and you want to raise your arms above your head, and that should act newt, Anuk newt, and that should act geb, Anuk geb, Tuamutep. Now we're going to go in a circle towards the right and give thanks to Shu. And that should act Shu, 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 Anuk Shu. And you always end up back facing towards the east.
So now we're going to go in the opposite direction, counterclockwise, and we're going to show thanks and reverence to Tefnut. And that's like Tefnut, 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 Anuk, Tefnut, Tua, Now we're going to place our arms back above our heads and we're going to salute the Pa'anateru. And that's like Pa'anateru, Anuk, Pa'anateru. And that's like Embu Natu, Anuk, Embu Natu. Tua into. We thank you for healing us eternally. And now, towards the end, you want to send Ankh energy to others around you as well as your space. So usually when I am doing this practice, I am by myself. However, it is my partner and I who occupy the space. So I always imagine Ankh energy being sent to him, myself, as well as all of the doors and the windows in the home. This is what this looks like. Energy. That is.
Okay, we are going to move into our meditation. If you find yourself in a comfortable position, um, I suggest sitting up because this is a powerful meditation. If you lay down, you might fall asleep. Um, and we are going to do the atmospheric breathing, which is just breathing deeply in and out. And there's an explanation in the first 4 minutes of the meditation. And just focus your energy on continuing the breathing through the entire meditation. Ashe? And you're going to find yourself in a comfortable position. You're going to take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes and relax. Allow your breathing to gradually become slower and deeper. Breathe from your belly inside, from your shoulders or chest. Don't force it, but let your breathing become natural and relaxed. You can practice while lying on your back or sitting up. Place your hand gently on the diaphragm muscle, located under your ribs and above your stomach. When you breathe in, you push the muscle down and your belly moves forward. When you breathe out, the muscle moves back to resting position and your belly moves back in. Imagine that with each breath, your body is becoming increasingly calm and loose. With each exhale, your limbs are a little more cooked, like spaghetti. Your face a little more relaxed and expressionless. Your body is more still. Practice breathing for 5 to 10 minutes. try to practice daily, especially when already calm, so that you are well practiced when your stress increases. Continuing this exercise can relieve stress and help you to return to your activities and stressors with a renewed sense of strength and calmness. Inhale in, breathe out through your belly. Breathe in through your belly and out through your mouth. Breathe from your belly inside of your shoulders or chest. Place your hand gently on the diaphragm muscle located under your ribs and above your stomach. When you breathe in, you push the muscle down and your belly moves forward. When you breathe out, the muscle moves back to resting position and your belly moves back in. Continue the belly breathing for the duration of the meditation. Many are the scary sensations of panic, shortness of breath, dizziness, numbness, nausea, trouble swallowing, chest pains are related to rapid breathing. Atmospheric breathing is a deep breathing exercise you can use as a coping skill when you have symptoms of anxiety or panic. During panic, people breathe from the chest instead of from the belly. Breathing rapidly from the chest increases anxiety. Breathing slowly from the belly lowers anxiety and reduces many of the scary sensations of panic. It is effective for creating relaxation and clearer thinking. Our breathing is related to the thoughts and images that we are currently focusing on. So it is important to change our thinking and imaginary to help us relax. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And just gently open your eyes. And remember to say positive things to yourself. When you open your eyes to the world around you, focus on the beauty the things you are grateful for. Embrace the journey you are on and find things to be grateful for. When you're ready, name 5 things that you are grateful for and extend gratitude and appreciation for them. Be sure to journal any insights you get and any dreams you have, information you get about healing, situations you may thought you had forgotten about, areas where you may need to grow. Just make sure you journal so you can reflect.
is not a prison, and life is not a sentence. I hope you feel it in your spirit. Just a moment of silence and a moment of stillness can heal it. I meditate for some minutes. I medicate and replenish. I got pain in my veins, but ain't no break in my spirit. Ain't no break in my spirit. I celebrate cause I'm living. Feel like my trauma is karma, but I'm embracing the feelings. If you don't feel it, you can't heal it. Mind is not a prison, and life is not a sentence. I hope you feel it in your spirit. Just a moment of silence and a moment of stillness can heal it. Just a moment of silence and a moment of stillness. Let go to let go to grow. Let go to grow. Yeah. Let go to grow. Yeah. Let go to grow. Let go to grow. Let go to grow. Yeah. Let go to grow. Yeah.
All right, family. Thank you all for being here. If you have not done so already, please join the UNIA today. Race first.
Brothers and sisters, a very pleasant good evening to you. This is Jerry B. welcoming you to tonight's episode on soul, which we entitle Elements, with the sensational sounds of earth, wind, and fire. Featuring Maurice White on vocals and percussion, Jessica Cleaves, vocals, Philip Bailey, vocals and congas, Johnny Graham, guitar, Verdine White on vocals and bass, Larry Dunn, organ and electric piano, Ralph Johnson on drums, Andrew Woolfolk on sax and flute, and here now, the elements of the universe, earth, wind, and fire.